Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the Transformers podcast with your hosts, the one and only Lord Sice. And yes, I'm mad nice on any mic device. Believe that. As we proceed today, following up on the first Transformer podcast, off the back, I would just like to thank everybody for their support. Definitely a big thank you for all the YouTubers that supported me, subscribing to the channel, taking their time out to listen to the podcast. I'd like to thank all of my fellow Transformer World members over at the website, in the forums, for their support, taking their time to listen as well. Most especially Galvatronus, for the feedback. Also Lynn Key for the feedback as well. And also CK Prime. Thank you, appreciate it. And I know I'm going to butcher your name, my friend. This is my first time attempting to say your name. I want to say Aerneroth. Definitely correct me, but I like to definitely thank you, my friend, for giving me a piece of your mind, your thoughts, your concerns, a very lengthy reply in the forums with a lot of good advice. I don't look at anything as negative, because we all can be critiqued, and it's only by critique that you perfect your craft, by adhering to the critique and applying it where you see fit. So I like to thank everybody for their support. Also Ash from Carolina, appreciate the support, the feedback, the comments. So let's get right into it. We want to follow up on the last podcast where we briefly touched on the Michael Bay movies and how they look in terms of the designs. We're not going to really be too heavy on that particular topic about the designs. We want to kind of move on. I want to first address the Unicron situation. As when the trailer first came out, there was a lot of clamor on the internet that particular planet thingy was Unicron. But as further analysis, as time went on, and we kind of critiqued it and kind of broke it down a little bit, that may not be Unicron, and I hope to God it's not. It does just look like some regular type of planet, but hey, with Michael Bay, you never know. So I just wanted to cover my bases and hoping that was not Unicron. But upon further analysis, it just looks like some type of planet. It does have the kind of shape on the surface, the kind of hexagon, octagon shapes on the surface that Cybertron had in one of the earlier movies. I think it was, what was the one with Sentinel Prime? Was it Age of Extinction? I think it was. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, when they had showed Cybertron, they kind of showed these various shapes, hexagons, octagon type shapes on the surface, and it does kind of strike a resemblance. But it also looks like some grass is growing, so I don't know what that is there. Some type of weird coloring scheme, or I don't know what. Somebody made a suggestion that maybe Cybertron is rebooting itself also with organic matter. Maybe that's a salute or acknowledgement of the old Beast Machines Transformers cartoon, for those who remember that, the Beast Machines, where the whole struggle between the Autobots and Decepticons was the mixture of the techno and the organic, where the Autobots found that Cybertron was leading them on a path to unite the techno and the organic, and whereas Megatron wanted the total annihilation, to totally eradicate all organic matter and just have the techno aspect reign supreme. And if you didn't watch Beast Machines, you should go back and watch that. It's a very good plot. There was some stale episodes, but the overall series was pretty good. Even though I didn't like the particular certain shapes of the Transformers, I felt they got kind of lazy. But when you come from the G1, when you used to the G1, you want a good filled out robot, a good bulking robot. You don't want these little thin bots or whatever you want to call them. They just look so fragile. I'm biased, I know, but that's what it is when you grow up on the G1. Not saying all G1 designs were perfect, but the majority of them are great. And if you actually see them reimagined now, as we kind of talked about on the last podcast, the reimagining of most of the G1 characters, drawn with better artistry, where you're not necessarily just dealing with the square shapes of the 80s, more aerodynamic designs. They look pretty awesome, if I don't say so myself. All right, so thanks to everybody for the support and everything, and we may have to withdraw on the accusations of Unicron. So hopefully it's not Unicron, and what it is exactly, I guess we'll have to wait and find out. But I do want to touch on something else in the trailer that a lot of people are speculating, talking about, the actual role of Optimus Prime in this particular movie. As we all see, he has purple eyes, so that tells you something's happened to him. The purple eyes would suggest that he's working for another force. A lot of people are speculating that maybe he's been turned by some entity or something of that sort. So I'll tell you what the trailer the trailer looks like. As it shows Prime floating in space, it reminds me of the G1 movie, and I know a lot of people probably had this thought come in mind, but you kind of see him just floating in space, lifeless, like Megatron was in the G1 movie. And as he ran into Unicron, and Unicron, gave him a new body, a new design, and as you know, he was then transformed and remade into Galvatron. So it kind of reminded me of that. Maybe Prime, running out of fuel on his search for the creators or whatnot. Maybe, not bumped into him by chance, but, maybe they were aware of his mission to come seek them out. And maybe it came into a kind of a Unicron scenario from G1. Now, they are saying that they are making the effort, these new Transformer movies are making an effort to kind of grab from the lore of the G1 series and other various Transformer series, Beast Wars, Beast Machines, the comic books, things of that nature. So, that's where the ideals are stemming from, because it does look like how Megatron was just floating in space after that great battle on Earth, after Starscream got his way and elected to get Megatron and the Insecticons and some of the other counter parts or comrades of Megatron kicked out. And as you know, they bumped into Unicron and then was changed. Megatron was changed to the Galvatron, and that's where you have Cyclonus and the sweeps and things of that nature. So speculation, just speculation at this point. But let's say Unicron was in a movie or the creators, which we know who is that? Who can't even get it out of my mouth. Who will the creators exactly be? We know they are the Quintessons, but is Michael Bay in the movies going this way? Will they represent the Quintessons as the creators? So that's a speculation. Maybe Prime bumps into them and they kind of reformat him to do their will, as Unicron reformatted Megatron to do his will. As we know, Prime does look slightly different. He has a new build, a new model, as he gets every movie. So we'll see. And then of course the attack, as they showed in the trailer, as he attacked Bumblebee, they cut it in a way where they don't show you if he actually went through and ran Bumblebee through with his sword or whatever sharp object he had coming off his arm. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But it definitely looks like he was turned for some way, shape, or form, and there is maybe a bit of him left. Because if he was totally evil, then why would he say, forgive me, or I don't remember the exact wording, but he says something, forgive me, before he attacks Bumblebee. So we'll see how that goes down. And also we do have the return of the Dinobots in this movie, Dinobots. So we're definitely know we're going to see Grimlock. And then we see kind of a flying two-head I don't know, flying two-head pterodactyl. I don't know. But I believe it was the same one that was in the last movie. So we'll see. And what other ones they have. Now I'm hearing they said something that they'll have mini Dinobots. I don't know what a mini Dinobot is. I guess a little, I don't know, raptor running around. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see what they come up with. They did say they are going to give Grimlock a bigger role in this movie. He's supposed to be this like, he's hardcore when it comes to a warrior, but the other side of his personality is kind of like, when he makes a mistake, he's like, oh, did I do that? And just a whole comical side to him. They want to give him a bigger role, so we'll see how that works out. Depends on the voice, Of course, in the G1 series, you had a great voice behind Grimlock, so that added to the various dimensions of him. So we'll see how they pull this off. Grimlock is a fan favorite, and a lot of the old G1ers, I would imagine, will have a big gripe if they don't have a decent voice to Grimlock, because the G1 voice to Grimlock is just so iconic. And you're just so used to it, it fits him perfectly. We'll see how they pull it off. One thing that I will say on some of the feedback I got on the last podcast, I'm going to have to kind of lighten up on this generation of Transformer fans. This is their introduction to the Transformers, so they probably love it as much as those who grew up with the Transformers in the 80s and in the 90s love their Transformers. So, I gotta find a balance there and not be so critical. But, I'll try to be balanced, but that doesn't mean I have to like it, every last single aspect of it. So, hey, they also, of course, everyone knows that Hot Rod is going to be in this movie. So, and of course, when I saw the design of Hot Rod, I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious? But what can I do? He almost looks like a clone of Bumblebee. He doesn't have the little, what do you want to call it? Not the fins, so to speak, in the back of it. The yellow fins and the iconic yellow fins in the back. A spoiler in the back of the car, which when he transforms into robot mode, shown, on his back, on the back of the robot. They're going to do their own designs, but you would think that they would just want to hint towards the classic design of him, to kind of balance it out for the G1ers out there. But it is what it is, so we'll see what happens with that. A lot of people are speculating, is Hot Rod on scene because of this change in Optimus Prime, and will he ultimately end up, becoming the leader of the Autobots? Will he make a transformation into Rodimus Prime? Who knows? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Now, I'm also hearing that they are planning a Transformer movie, a prequel, that will actually be on Cybertron, with no humans, just all Transformers. And a lot of us have been waiting for that one. That should be very, very exciting to see. And I'm thinking, if they do that particular one, they'll have no choice but to, kind of make the robots more, I don't want to say more of a G1 design, but, because they're not going to be taking on these earthly vehicles. So we'll see what they come up with this prequel. I believe they have scheduled 3 more Transformer movies. There's supposed to be one coming out every year after the release of this one. So we'll see how that goes. I'm really interested to see how they make that adjustment. With just dealing strictly with Transformers, no humans, no human coalition. So what will be the plot? What storyline will they go with? So that'll definitely be interesting for the design and the overall arcing Transformer universe that they're now exploring, and how that will go about. Well, that'll be it for this podcast. Just wanted to break down a couple of facts that we've been hearing about the movie and dealing with some of the plot points and whatnot. Be sure to give your feedback, any critique, like the video, dislike the video, subscribe to the video. Definitely appreciate the support. Once again, we are out of here. I'm your host, Lord Sice. Catch you next time. Peace.